Hello everyone, it is me, Louis, aka Duncan Gaming, and today I will be ranking all the episodes from Season 5. If you have not seen the first 4 seasons ranking videos, I recommend you go watch them as well, and I hope to get Season 6 and 7 out soon. So without further ado, let's get onto the ranking list. Toby's Discovery. I'm not really the biggest fan of this episode, to be honest. Toby feels a little weird, which I get it, he's in a scary setting, but when it's at daytime and he still feels a bit uneasy, it's not terrible, but Toby feels a bit clunky in this episode, and Bertram is a pointless character that I don't really like that much. 4 out of 10, this could have been a lot better. So Topham Hatt's Holiday. I kind of forget what happens in this episode. I guess they go on a boat, but train later. I seriously have nothing to say about this episode. It's really forgettable. 5 out of 10 though, because it's not bad, but it's just really boring in my opinion. Gordon and the Gremlin. A very confusing episode. Why is this episode about gremlins? What is the deal with Gordon and Thomas's train? And the ending feels a bit clunky, but it's not terrible. 5 out of 10. Could have been better again. Make someone happy. So, fun fact, when editing this video, I accidentally put the image for Happily Ever After on here, because the episodes are so similar, I misread it. But yeah, this really does blend in with another episode, Happily Ever After. But we're here to talk about Make Someone Happy. I do like James in this episode, but again, it's very nothing. I can't really remember what happens. Mrs. Kindly, I guess, is sad and then gets to see the railway and a carnival, but the problem with Season 5 is that it's got a lot of amazing episodes, but the episodes that aren't amazing are all just mid. 5 out of 10. Happily Ever After. Yeah, these two are right next to each other on the list because I think they blend in so similarly, but I prefer this one because it shows the best of Percy, you know, being a helpful little engine, and it's quite a sweet episode, but again, not much substance to it. 5 out of 10. And I think this is Edward's biggest role in the entire season, which says a lot of how little they used him this year. Bah. I like how the story is centered about a ram, and Percy dealing with the ram, that's funny, and the ram stop motion is really good in the episode, but again, not the most interesting. Percy on the branch line's cool, and shenanigans are cool, but it's not one of the more exciting episodes, and I do forget this exists sometimes. 6 out of 10. Thomas and the Rumours. This episode is okay. I mean, the two plots kind of blend in together weirdly at the end, but at least there's good conflict between Harold and the engines. That's why I probably have it higher than it probably should be on the list, but I like the conflict between Harold and the big engines, and Gordon's crash is amazing, and Thomas is really good in this episode. His character is amazing, but again, very clunky episode how the two plots are tied in at the end, but 6 out of 10. A surprise for Percy. The runaway scene in this episode is really good. The Fat Controller and Bertie chasing after the trucks is something that will never not entertain me. But besides that, it's an alright episode. But I'm giving it a 7 out of 10 just because of the runaway scene. I love it so much, but the episode itself is alright. 7 out of 10. Lady Hatt's Birthday Party. This is a really funny episode. The Fat Controller going through all this shit just to get to his wife's birthday party and falling into a muddy pond. Oil getting splattered on his face is really good. It's like something out of an old British comedy, but it's really funny. George the Steamroller is amazing. It's really good, but there's just the episodes I prefer after this. That's why it's so low, even though I do really like this one. 7 out of 10. Snow. Not many people talk about this episode, and it's a shame because it's got one of the best crashes of the season. The trucks, the avalanche, and Scarlowy getting buried alive. But then getting saved at the end was good with the igloo, you know, protecting the crew and the runaway scene with the trucks breaking their winch. While short, it was really entertaining. Also, nice setup for the story, how Rusty tells Thomas about the story. And then Gordon at the end with the snow machine is also really great. 8 out of 10. Love this one. Something in the Air. Honestly, the most underrated dynamic in the show is between Thomas and Henry. I think this is one of the best dynamics in the show, and it's a shame not many people talk about it. The crash is really great, and the suspense to the crash is absolutely amazing. Thomas and Henry are perfectly in character. The visuals, nighttime visuals, as is for all the classic series, are always going to be amazing to see. Really nice episode. 8 out of 10. A better view for Gordon. This isn't as high as other people's lists because not really much happens in this episode. Gordon just, you know, complains and then about the station, but the crash is so amazing. We can all agree on that. One of the best crashes of the entire show, and it's just a good Gordon episode. The beginning is really funny as well, but not too much happens, which is why it's lower than other people's lists, but 8 out of 10. Still a really great episode, don't get me wrong. Stepney Gets Lost. Really great episode. Stepney's good, him working at the quarry is good, the nighttime visuals always good, the Smelter's Yard set is amazing. Ari and Bert are such cool characters in this episode. It's a shame they got ruined after season 5. They should have only appeared in Stepney Gets Lost and Never Again. The Smelter's Yard scene, Stepney basically almost dying is great. The ending line, Bluebells Forever. If you live in the UK though, that's Stepney's last line, and it's so amazing. It's better than Oh My in the US dub. The reason why this is only getting an 8 out of 10 is because I feel like it's got the wrong character. This really should have been about Oliver instead. If this was an Oliver episode, this would have been 10 out of 10 and probably in the top 3 for this season, but unfortunately, Stepney got another Spotlight episode, which I like Stepney, but shouldn't have been about him. Still 8 out of 10. By George. One of the funniest episodes of the season. Scarlo and Renee's scene at the beginning was great, Thomas's crash, Gordon's crash was great, George's comeuppance at the end. It's all so good. This is a great episode from season 5, 9 out of 10. Put upon Percy. Percy is such a mood in this episode and I love it. He's really great in this episode, the other engines are also great, and the avalanche scene is so intense. Poor Percy, he's almost about to die. If it wasn't for his quick thinking, he would have definitely been dead, but amazing, intense episode. Percy is such a heroic character, love him. I mean, Percy in season 5 is just amazing. No one can argue with that. 9 out of 10. Double teething troubles. After being somewhat mistreated in season 3, I'm very happy to say Bill and Ben are back to being their amazing selves in season 5. Derek, while only appearing in this episode, is a nice new addition. He doesn't contribute much, but the episode isn't about him, it's about Bill and Ben are great. Boko's last appearance, unfortunately, but he's still great. Duck is great. Everyone in this episode's great. You can basically say that about most of the episodes from season 5. 9 out of 10. Rusty and the Boulder. The rain atmosphere is great, and the whole chase scene with Boulder is so good. All the engines nearly dying, being crushed by Boulder. Percy having the closest call. The shed explosion, the music, the visuals, it's all top notch. What can I say? I can't say anything else because everyone else has basically said it for me on YouTube. 10 out of 10. James and the Trouble with Trees. Really underrated episode. I wish... What is it with some of these James episodes being genuinely amazing and no one talking about them? The rain atmosphere, again, amazing. The music, the suspense to the tree. The James nearly hitting the tree, it's so good. Henry's crash is funny. The truck's insults are funny. James boasting is funny. Thomas is perfectly in character. James is perfectly in character. Why does no one talk about this episode? It's genuinely amazing. One of my favorites, 10 out of 10. James and the Trouble with Trees is amazing. Thomas, Percy, and Old Slowcoach. The main 3 characters in this episode are amazing. Thomas, Percy, and James, all in character. James' fuel tankers catching fire was a really good and intense sequence. And Thomas and Percy saving Old Slowcoach was really nice. 10 out of 10 episode. Oliver's Find. The dynamic between Oliver and Toad at the beginning of the episode is great, the music is great, both crashes are great, and Oliver going on a little adventure is really nice and him getting lost. The visuals, again at nighttime, never fail to amaze me. Seriously, 10 out of 10. Again, so many 10 out of 10s in season 5. Horrid Lorry, an amazing episode. The lorries are great new characters. The steam engines feel intimidated by the roads taking over is a really good concept that ties into real life. The crash that we see is amazing. And the engines winning at the end is really good. The fact that the lorries are never actually seen again is what makes this episode even greater. If they brought them back in a later season, I would have thought this episode wouldn't be as good, but the fact they don't return and they actually keep the continuity of this episode is really nice. 10 out of 10. Cranky Bugs. There could not have been a more perfect opening to an amazing season. Cranky is a fantastic new character. Thomas and Percy are great in this episode, Cranky's tricks, and the whole storm scene is one of the best scenes of the entire show. Imagine if you were in Gordon or James's or Doc or Henry's point of view and you just see a massive ship coming towards you. Like, that must be terrifying. And Cranky as well, falling on his side, amazing. Such an intense episode, 10 out of 10. This is amazing. Toby and the Flood. What is with season 5 having an amazing episode? Seriously. Really action-packed. Toby on the bridge being swept away is great. Percy saving Toby. Harold at the dam collapsing. It's all so good. What else can I say? 10 out of 10 again. Haunted Henry. The visuals in this episode are absolutely unmatched, amazing, some of the best in the entire show. Henry was the perfect choice for this episode. The troublesome trucks are always great, them falling off the ravine is amazing. The just the fog in general, like the lighting, the way the camera's framed, the music, it's so intense. Again, Season 5 excelled at these intense, creepy episodes, 10 out of 10. Busy going backwards, I feel like a broken record at this point, it's so good. Toad's runaway, the troublesome trucks, Oliver chasing after Toad, Gordon and James, Toad's pond, Oliver's corny joke, you know. It's so... I can't even think of anything else to say because lots of other people have already said great things about this episode. It's just amazing, the runaway scene, Toad. Finally, Toad could not have been a more perfect character for this episode. Toad is great, 10 out of 10 again, but there's one more we have to talk about. Duncan Gets Spooked, my favourite episode of the entire show, and for good reason. One, I love the narrow gauge props they used in Season 5, the large scale ones. They're better than Season 4, suck my dick. The visuals, again, I'm just repeating myself, guaranteed amazing visuals with Season 5. The crash at the beginning, the setup with Peter Sam's crash was really nice. Rusty's story, do I even need to say anything about that? Amazing. We actually see an engine die on screen, which we don't know their name of, and we don't get too attached to them. But we see an engine die on screen. Duncan not believing Rusty, the crew coming up with the plan to scare Duncan. Duncan slowly getting nervous as the day goes on, nightfall coming. He crosses the bridge, he sees fireflies, the rock falls, he's scared, and then... It's such a perfectly structured episode. The pacing is amazing, there's no fat to be trimmed out of this. Everything matters. The ending scene, oh boy, that is great. Along with Rusty and the Boulder, the last line are really quite something, but this is my favourite episode of the entire show. I love Duncan so much. 10 out of 10. That's pretty much all I have to say. Alright, so that was every Season 5 episode ranked. I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to share your opinions in the comments below, and I will see you in the Season 6 video.